Hey, what's going on?
Oh, hey, man. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show. How's everything going, man?
Man, everything's good. Enjoying being retired and starting my new journey.
Absolutely, and congratulations on that and everything you've done, man. And it was just a couple months ago you released the Drip on Drip single and the video for that. Great stuff. Really great visuals in that, man. You're really bringing it. Talk to us about the single Drip on Drip, kind of what the concept was for the video on that, and just kind of take us back to that, and then kind of how you came up with that song and who you kind of collaborated with on that thing.
My good friend that's from Kansas City, Nave Munjo. How you doing, boss? He's a good songwriter, good beat maker, and he's from Kansas City. And when I was playing for the Chiefs, I always had the style, the flavor, the drip, as you call it. So when I retired, they called me the drip king. So I just figured I'd make a song that everybody talk about drip, but I got the drip on drip because I already made it. So I just wanted to add a little extra sauce, to my flavor to bring to the rap game. Just, make positive and motivation music for the youth and for the guys in the locker room.
Absolutely, Dwayne. And a former teammate of yours, Tamba Ali, also has gotten into the music business since his playing days. Any chance we can get a collaboration with you and him?
Definitely. I just left Kansas City actually 3 days ago when I went to the game, and I just was in the studio with Tamba going over some beats. So we're working actually right now on the production part of it.
Awesome.
And, we definitely gonna have one probably early January, February. It's all about timing. He's working on a project. He's got good vision. So it's about timing. So we picked out a good beat, and we're just waiting to the Chiefs get a little further, in the season, and we're gonna collab and make an anthem song for the Chiefs and the whole Kansas City community.
Love it.
That's awesome. Cannot wait for that. And you coined the term rapleet, and we've seen in the past a lot of athletes that have made this transition into music. But since you've done it, do you feel like that there's been other athletes that are retired or that are wanting to get into this that have kind of reached out to you, and kind of what's your advice for athletes like yourself that are retired trying to kind of make this transition?
I definitely tell them to wait till their career is definitely over because NFL, you got to focus on your main job, and I waited till I was actually done before I pursued my next career. Once you understand the business part of the NFL, you understand the business part of music. I think, if you're a student athlete and you're trying to do the music, understand, you need to understand about contract, about mastering, about, the little things that are going to prepare you business-wise with the music tip. And, I tell them they do it, go for it. I'm going to start a mastering course. I'm trying to get some things going in college where guys can learn how to master their music and learn about producing while they're in college.
That's excellent. And guys, you can go to moneybomusic.com for check out all the information and the single and kind of the history and some of the other songs that you've done the last. I know that you've played some live shows. You did one here, I think, at the Uptown Theater a year or so ago. Do you have any kind of aspirations or some shows coming up, or where can people see you live? Is that something that you've got in the works coming up?
Definitely. Super Bowl. I'm actually putting together this show right now with Cardi B, Migos, Meek Mill. It's gonna be a 2-day festival for the Super Bowl. I just did Rolling Loud, 60,000 people with Trippie Redd. So I'm on the verge of going. It's all about timing and events, and Super Bowl and Pro Bowl. I definitely will be doing something. So I'll be posting that on my page in the next couple of weeks.
Well, Dwayne, back in May, you signed a one-day contract to retire a Chief. Just take us through that process. If they reached out to you, you reached out to them, and kind of how that went down, and catching a pass from Patrick Mahomes, getting back with Andy Reid, and seeing Brett Veach, Clark Hunt, and just how all that went down for you.
Oh man, it was smooth. That's my guys over there. Jamal did it first, and I reached out at the end, and he said we would love to. And I said, let's go for it. And they rolled out the red carpet for me. It's been an amazing journey. Couldn't go out any better. And I still wish I could be playing with Pat because that guy's good. They wrestling him. I get that question every day. What if? What if? And if it did, it'd be a whole different story. I probably wouldn't be a rap athlete, but things happen. Time is different, and I'm excited about what I'm doing now, my new journey, and I'm glad to help any rap athlete that's trying to take on this journey with.
Well, absolutely, and congratulations on that. And I mean, you wind up finishing third all time in Chiefs history in receiving yards. I mean, you played with you didn't get to play with Patrick Mahomes, but you played with a lot of other quarterbacks from Trent Green to Kyle Orton to Tyler Thigpen to Tyler Palko to Matt Castle and Alex Smith. You played with a lot of quarterbacks, Dwayne. What was that like? Was you still had such a prolific career for 8 years at Kansas City? Was that much for you to come through here and have to play for all those quarterbacks? I don't know any other receiver, maybe except for the Cleveland Browns, that have had to play with that many quarterbacks in their career. Was that a challenge?
I wouldn't say it was a challenge. I think it was all part of grooming me. The LSU every year had a different receiver coach. When I got to the Chiefs, every year I had a different offensive coordinator, 4 different head coaches. So it was always transition. It was always something new. So at the time, I didn't think it was nothing wrong with it because every team was going through that. But now it's like more teams have franchise players who they, lean on. But at the time, it was all about, the best guy on the team, plays. And that's how it went. But I'm glad I had an opportunity to play with all those guys. I still, have a relationship with those guys. I want to trade it in for the world. I had a great career. Now I love to sit back and watch my guys go to war and watch these young quarterbacks go out there and do what they do.
Well, Dwayne, when you got here, you had Herm Edwards, and then in 2009 there was a shift to Todd Haley. Scott Pioli comes in. When Todd first got here, he kind of had you and DJ running with the second team in practice. It seemed like, kind of from our outside perspective, to work, as you and DJ both played up to your potential consistently for the rest of your careers. Kind of want to get your thoughts on that, and do you agree that helped you and you got the best out of you and DJ after that?
I mean, definitely. New coaches come in with new schemes, and even though we was, the workhorses on the team, so second team really don't get too many reps in practice. So you still want to rep it, but he didn't want to overkill us. From the outside, it looked like we were being demoted, but he actually was, resting us in a way that you couldn't really tell them that you were doing that. You just had to do it that way to make it. You know what I mean? It wasn't intentional. It was like, you guys are older. You guys are getting more talented, so we're going to rest you. We need you in the game time. And that's how, his philosophy went. But from the outside, it did look kind of crazy, but it worked out for the best of us. Both of us had great years when he did it with Pro Bowl, and, that guy's a genius.
Well, you retired from the NFL in 2015. Actually retired as a Chief, of course, back in May. And now that you've made this transition to being a rap lead, and what does the game of football mean to you today? I mean, you played on a national championship team at LSU. You played for Nick Saban and Les Miles at LSU, one of the top programs in the country. You played for the Chiefs for 8 years. You played for the Browns for a year. When you look back, what does football mean to you? And when you see the Chiefs play, when you see Patrick Mahomes and how close they got last year, like what does this game mean to you? And what do the Chiefs mean to you today?
I mean, the Chiefs means, they hold my memory. That's my first hobby that I took serious and actually made a good living off of. And I touched a lot of people in Kansas City. Now, I just left the game actually 2 days ago, and they won. And the coach was like, "What can we do to get you to come here every game?" And I was like, "Nothing. I'll get on the jet and I'll fly out there." So it's all about the energy, man. Those guys got good energy. Every time, they win, people call me to ask me, what's my prediction? Did you talk to them? I'm like, no, can't give you all of that. I'm just going to tell you they're going to win this week because I'm going to the game. And it's all good energy, man. It's just watching those guys, still talk to those guys, and then to some of those guys, Travis Kelce, Cam Irvin, it's a pleasure to still be able to tie in with an organization that's actually winning. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel honored to be a Chief.
Absolutely. And we mentioned how you came in with Herm Edwards, then moved on to Todd Haley, but you were actually here in 2013, 2014 under Andy Reid. What makes him so special? What makes him such a great coach that kind of differs and kind of separates him from everyone else?
Big Red, he's dealt with different egos, different coaches, different players. We had the best, we had the worst, and he just know how to let a guy show his personality and be who he is, and let football talk with that guy. And some organizations don't let you be who you want to be. Some organizations want to control you, and it's about winning. It's about letting your attitude show. And if you feel good, you play good, and if you play good, you pay good. And that was his motto. He treated every man fairly, and that's why I think they go to bat for him, because the way he treats guys on the field.
Well, before we, I'm sure you're aware, you've got this weekend's kind of a big one in college football, because you've got your old coach who's now at bitter rival Alabama playing your old team, the LSU Tigers, #1 versus #2 in Tuscaloosa. What do you think of this thing? I mean, you've got Joe Burrow kind of ignited the offense there for your LSU Tigers. In the meanwhile, Nick Saban doing what he does and building another machine there at Alabama. Is this a game you're going to check out this weekend? Are you excited about this? I mean, this is a pretty big one, man.
Of course, it's a big one, and my phone's blowing up as we speak right now. And I know my guys are going to do it, man. I definitely mentor a couple of the receivers on the team, and they had been in the book, and it's bigger expectations than when I was playing. And it's like it's more energy, it's more riding on the line, and I think with the new coach, haven't won the national yet, and actually joining that Saban and Miles, national team, that'd be amazing. Those guys take it all the way, so I'm rooting for them.
Well, just a little bit more on Joe Burrow here. It's probably been since your day with Jamarcus Russell that LSU has had this kind of talent at quarterback. What have you seen from him, and is this the difference this Saturday in Tuscaloosa against Alabama?
Man, I've seen patience. I've seen growth. I mean, they probably plays that fit that guy, and he's running to the tee. He's trusting his receivers. He's letting them play ball. He's taking broken plays and making big plays out of it. It's kind of like he took a page out of Patrick Mahomes' book, and he's letting it fly. And that's how you win games. And I think if he just stay on that route, and the coaches just be easy when it's the big games and let guys just relax and play, I think those guys will be like the 03 team with me and DeMarcus was there.
Well, it's crazy because we had Michael Clayton on this show not long ago, and he talked about how back in 2003 and before that, it wasn't necessarily the end thing. It wasn't the cool thing to go to LSU, and a lot of recruits came in like yourself and him, and to really build that up. And you win a national title as a freshman. Just kind of in general, take us back to that time at LSU. You started under Nick Saban. You win a national title as a freshman as a backup player, but you become a prominent player, an all-SEC player. Just kind of take us back through that and how special it was that you're in Rouge.
Oh man, just leaving high school, leaving Miami and going to a southern place with Cajun people and hot food and good energy. I mean, for an 18-year-old to go out of town for the first time in his life and win a national championship, being coached by one of the greatest college coaches ever, is just I feel like I was blessed and I'm honored to be, a guy that actually did that. Went from winning a state championship to a national championship, and watching my Chiefs, win a Super Bowl is gonna complete my whole football history, and I can finally leave it alone and join the whole rap world and never talk about football again.
Absolutely. That's what we're waiting for as well. Just that Chiefs Super Bowl. We can hang this thing up. But Dwayne, obviously you played in Arrowhead Stadium, probably the best atmosphere in all the NFL. But I want to talk to you about your time at LSU, Saturday night in Death Valley. Is there anything else like that in the country?
Oh, my God. Arrowhead might be the only place that's right on the edge of Death Valley. But, man, those guys been drinking since Thursday night. They've been cooking crawfish and potatoes and sausage from Monday night. So it's a whole mixture of gumbo, good energy, man, spices, and the rivalry, man. It was crazy. The energy was crazy. And just when I just think of Kansas City, the people that showed the same love they did at LSU, and I was just like, those are the top two stadiums that I ever played in, and actually, you could feel the fans breathing on your neck, and that'll force you to make a play or force a break. And I think, playing in those circumstances made me, the receiver I am today, and made me the guy I am now, and the guy I'm gonna be forever.
Well, I tell you what, the Chiefs have just been looking so much for that definitive touchdown song. Ever since the NFL kind of outlawed the Rock and Roll Part 2 by Gary Glitter, people are looking for that new touchdown song. We want to celebrate this. So we got to hear this, man. When you put this song together, we something that every time Patrick Mahomes throws for 50 touchdowns for the next 15 years, that your song's going to play, man. You got to that's the mindset here. That this has got to wait for the stars on this song, man. We can't wait to hear it.
I'm excited, man. You just gave me goosebumps. I can't wait to lay this down. I got to put a lot of thought in it now that you told me that. It's going to be a track that's going to be heard for 15 to 20 years in the stadium. I got to make sure it's perfect.
Well, what you've done is tremendous, MoneyBo. It's just been wonderful watching this transition in your career, and best of luck with everything going forward. The new single's Drip on Drip. It's tremendous. The video's on YouTube right now, and you can go to moneybomusic.com and check out all the info, man. And we can't thank you enough for doing this with us today and taking us back through some of the great times in your career and leading us to what you're doing now. Best of luck, and we'll catch up soon. Hope you make it back to Kansas City in time for an AFC Championship and maybe a Super Bowl this year, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It was an honor.
Got it.